What's up, everybody? It's Smiley with Parallel Defense. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. Today, we're going to be talking about something that I've been dying to talk about, and it just kept getting prolonged because products kept coming out and got to the point where I was like, okay, cool. Now I have everything. I can do a video and explain. Today, we're going to be talking about FDEZ Werx 320 and 365 slides. Specifically, the integrally comped slides. We'll go ahead and jump into it. So first and foremost, the owner of FDEZ and I we're friends. We have a good relationship, and he sent me these slides to test out and review. It started with this bad boy right here. But before I go ahead and get into story time and giving you guys the whole 9 about it, like I said, I'm gonna start doing this. These are phenomenal slides. They are of a high quality. He offers a lifetime warranty. I promise you, you will not be upset if you order these slides. I have friends that have bought these slides on a recommendation, and they love them. They run the crap out of them, and these slides just go. I'm definitely signing off on them. They're phenomenal. He's a phenomenal company. Love them so much. Thank you for supporting me with all this stuff. Huge support of the channel. Let's get into story time. So a couple years ago, I want to say just about 2-ish, I reached out to the owner because I seen that he was doing some stuff with a friend of mine on Instagram. It was Juan Wick, now it's Pew Culture. They were doing a lot of stuff, so I reached out. I said, hey, I would love to test one of your slides. This is right after the Spectre comp came out. Everybody wanted a Spectre comp, but didn't want to pay their ridiculous price tag. So everybody was trying to do their, DIY Spectre comp, and FDEZ Werx was the first one to release a somewhat mock-up of a Spectre slide. The 2 integrally comped ports up here with a standard 365 barrel, giving it the overall length of a 365 XL. He said, yeah, no problem, sent me out one, and I was amazed. These barrels and, these slides were phenomenal. It took so much of the recoil out of that platform. At the time, the 365, and still currently in my opinion, is the best carry platform, 365 encompassing, that's any of the variants, is the best carry platform, so you couldn't go wrong. Now, somebody brings a slide to you that's $400, which is cheaper than Sig's, and you get a lifetime warranty with it. You don't have to do anything. You can sell your regular slide for 200 bucks, put the rest of the money towards this, and now you got a $200 slide instead of paying $475 and up. And it does the same thing, and it looked a lot better, and it does look a lot better in my opinion. These things worked phenomenally. They took so much of the recoil out, I could not believe it when I shouted out, this is great. This is better than sliced bread. So this is my first slide that I had from him. I've beat the crap out of this slide. Different optics, different screws, done everything. I even broke a recoil post because I was cranking on the screws. I put a fat screw in it that was larger than it. That's my fault, I wasn't paying attention. I was super excited and I broke one of the recoil posts, but that's fine. I could easily reach out and get another one because of error, but it is what it is. I'm probably still gonna run this slide, I'm not gonna lie. This slide probably has like 4,000 rounds on it just from the years of me shooting it. But after this came out, right, the 365 was going crazy. The XL accessory people were going crazy with. There was so much coming out, and then the macro dropped. When the macro dropped, people were like, I want a little bit longer slide, right? Every time we just go a little bit longer. 365, give me a little bit. XL, give me a little bit more. Macro. And then boom, the XXL slide released. The XXL slide is phenomenal. It does give you a lot more in length, and some people may not like that, especially for carry concealed, but to be honest with you, I still can't tell the difference. First question people are gonna ask is, what holster am I running? Weirdly enough, I am still running the Glock 48 holster that I've been running for years now. I don't have any issues with the Icarus grip or the extended slide. The XXL slide, it runs phenomenal. The XXL slide has 4 ports at the top, 4 windows, and a large open port at the front. Now, some people may think it's gonna overcompensate when you're shooting. I'm here to tell you it doesn't. I've shot everything from 90 grain to 147, and it all runs very, very flat. Nothing has ever dipped below my 0 point, which is crazy to think about with the amount of gas leaving this. I'm not gonna get into velocity and specs about all that because for this package, for what I'm doing, I'm not gonna have to really worry about all that. The gun shoots super flat, it's super accurate. I was amazed with this, and this is currently my EDC. This slide and barrel, FDEZ does make his own barrels. I want to say it has about 1,500 rounds on it. I put a lot of rounds through these slides and barrels when I get them, and that's what's taking me so long to do these reviews, just constantly beating them up and seeing if they'll hold under the pressures of the amount of time you're putting under it. This one held up fine. I mean, I'm still shooting it, I'm still carrying it to this day, no issues whatsoever. Other parts of the gun aren't holding up so well. The Icarus is holding up phenomenally, and other things I do need to change, but this is great. Then he reached out and said, hey, I want to do something for the 320. And then this was born, the 320 compact slide. It does use the subcompact I believe, barrel, the 3.6 barrel, which they're kind of hard to find because Sig stopped making that model. If you remember, it was the tiny 320. So you had like your X carry and then the one right under your X carry. It was really, really small. The 365 pretty much replaced that. But this thing is a monster. I could not believe my eyes. It does have 3 windows up top, so you could go with another ported barrel. I didn't. I just wanted the one port up the front, and it works well. I didn't feel like putting iron sights on there. Some people will castrate me for that, whatever. I don't like it. It doesn't bother me to have it on there or not. But it runs phenomenally. I just dropped I'll be dropping the Sally optics review here soon. That's what I have on this, and I'm running it on an AXG. This actual slide right here, I want to say I have maybe 1,000 rounds on. I don't shoot my 320s as much as my 365s or any of the other guns I own. I'm not a huge fan of the 320, but it's my duty gun. That's the same platform we use, so I do give it some love. But this one also reduced the recoil a lot. He does definitely suggest you go with something other than an OEM spring, so like a DPS. I'm running OEM springs and still haven't had an issue, so you guys can keep that in mind. I do believe if you go up and do get the additional 3 ports, you may have feeding issues. We'll talk about that when I get into the full-size slide. But for the compact 320, no issues at all. Run fall, see, like I said, right about 1,000 rounds. And I love it. I do carry this occasionally, and occasionally probably once or twice a week with no issues at all. I do shoot it a lot. Like I said, 1,000 rounds is a decent amount to give it a review on. It works. I like it. It doesn't overcompensate. Believe it or not, for this platform, for the compact size, it gives you just enough as far as compensation goes. It doesn't go straight to 0 every time, but I'm at like 1, right? It'll return here, and I can still get fast follow-up shots with a lot less reduced recoil. So no complaints there. The compact's checked off. Killed it there just like the other ones. Now, this bad boy, whew, this is the full-size slide on a full-size grip. This thing right here was crazy. When he reached out to me and told me he was making this, I was like, dang, that is sexy. Like, woo, didn't know what to do. Then I got it, and I definitely did run into some complications. It's probably because the ammo I'm using. I do have a Faxon barrel in there right now. If you guys are not familiar, Faxon is also another huge supporter of the channel. I run a ton of their barrels and have no issues with it. This is their barrel in the original one that has about 4,500, 5,000 rounds to it. And it's run with no issues. Cleaning it's easy. There's nothing wrong with the rifling. Accuracy is still holding what it needs to at distance. So Faxon is also phenomenal people for barrels if you guys are looking for barrels. Why am I running it in this version? So here is my ported slide. Or my ported barrel from them. Again, I do have the vertical ports going up along, going from smallest to largest until it hits that large port or integrally comp at the end. I was having feeding issues with that barrel specifically. And when I reached out to Will, he was like, it's your spring. I'm running an OEM spring. So if you do decide to grab this slide, you definitely want to go with an aftermarket spring. I think I am oversprung, so I'm not allowing my round's not ejecting to feed the next one. Again, if you're familiar with the cycle of operations, this makes perfect sense to you. If you're not familiar with the cycle of operations, when I squeeze the trigger, the slide goes back. The spring is too strong to allow it to come all the way back and forward. So I'm having ejection and feeding problems. It'll come back enough to eject, but not far enough to feed the second round in there. With the Faxon barrel, it does a lot better. I still have like every 5th or 6th round, there's a small issue with it. I tap rack fire and I'm good to go. But this thing right here just eats up. It's so flat shoot. Pow, 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 pow. It doesn't even feel like it's moving. This for me is a range gun. Obviously it's a full-size pistol. Wouldn't really carry this one. And I really wouldn't use it for home defense just in that scenario. It is a big gun. This is not something I want to walk around with. It's heavy. But for a range, this is really good if you're an instructor and you have students that are scared of recoil to shoot, because though it is louder than your typical gun, it is a lot less recoil, especially if you don't feel like jumping down to the 22 caliber. I highly suggest this slide. Or if you just want a badass build like this one, go ahead and do it. I have my grip done by One Tap Samurai. If you guys don't know, go ahead and check him out. He does phenomenal grip work. Again, slides by FDEZ, and I have the Ameriglow Haven on top. Phenomenal build. So with all that being said, the slides are made out of 416 stainless steel. He machines them, I believe, in-house. They're great. I can't. The only complaint I have ever heard from other people, because this is something that comes with being a content creator and a YouTuber, is people will come and complain to you about the businesses that support you. So I know a while back when these two slides were first coming out, he was getting orders left and right, and some people were just saying they were having longer wait times, which if you do go on his website, he does tell you there is a lead time. And that's one thing that just us as humans and Americans have issues with. When we buy it, we want it now. Give it to me as soon as possible. Can't always do that. You got to wait your lead times. But FDEZ makes an amazing product. I 100% support them. I think you guys should check them out. You guys can use Parallel 5 if you guys ever want to get some stuff. If that code doesn't work, let me know. I have had people say occasionally it doesn't. I reach out to Will, it gets fixed, and you guys can get your stuff at a discounted price. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what questions you have. I've had these slides now for a while. Some of them, like I said, almost 2 years. I've been running this bad boy. They're great. I would check them out. I haven't had any problems with any of my aftermarket barrels. I think I've seen people running them with Zafiri barrels, Zafiri precision barrels as well, and they do work with OEM Sig barrels. It's not a bad buy, right? If you're on the verge of it, if you're like, hey, I want to get it, but I don't know, do it. I promise you, you will not be upset. And then sometimes you can even do things like add stuff. So right here on my original 365, I have a Empire Javelin recoil assembly. So the guide and this ring. Again, weirdly enough, it took much more of the recoil out. It gave me a little bit better follow-up shots, made it slightly smoother than it was before. It's solid. So definitely check them out. Let me know what you guys got. Y'all have a good night.